wheel's bent. Dang! And it's sharp. Jesus. Looks like there's quite a few things that are going to need to be replaced in the rear. This rear strut right here needs to be replaced. This sway bar, I've never actually seen these bend like this. So the sway bar is bent. The subframe is actually damaged. You can see how it's cocked right there. So the subframe needs to be replaced. We have all the arms that need to be replaced. So this arm, it might not be bent because it's steel, but it ripped out of the knuckle. And I don't want to just chance this being a little bit off just for the sake of going to take it for alignment. And then, you know, there's not much alignment in these and you don't want to go and have to go back. The lower traction rod broke off of the knuckle. The knuckle is also broke. The axle's broke. The lower control arm is also ripped out of the subframe, and that also right there, that lower part of the subframe is an issue. The differential right there is cracked because you can see how the axle is ripped out of it, unfortunately, but it's probably just a 262 ratio anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Underneath here, everything under here looks really good. Doesn't look like there's any real damage. You know, you can see something up there on the cross member, but I think that's just from the forks at the auction. Good thing it barely touched it and it just went under, because my last Hellcat Charger, it actually hit that, caught it, broke it, stuffed it into the bottom of the tranny pan. I had to fix the valve body, get a new tranny pan, and luckily enough this one didn't have that issue. It doesn't look like the drive shaft is having any issues. The exhaust is not really usable, so the cats are going to be good, but the exhaust is bent back here. So we have the tips super bent. This one isn't that bad, but this one's a little JDM, too JDM for a Hellcat. So we're gonna have to, and it's actually almost closed. So then all the stuff back here is destroyed. The trunk is pushed over. It's a Harger now. It's not actually a Charger anymore, it's a Harger. And the SRT part of the emblem's good, but the trunk has pushed over the Hellcat emblem and messed it all up. You can see that gouge right there. All the lights are busted. Great thing is we still have the camera, which is a plus, but for the most part, all this stuff back here is gonna have to be replaced. Not all this stuff. I mean, the battery is probably gonna be bad. The bracket and the mount for the battery is gonna be bad. And then we have the fender liner is complete. You know, it's not complete, it's ripped. The rear bumper was stuffed in the car. I pulled it out and threw it in the crusher car because it was completely damaged. It was weird because somebody unplugged the harness and the harness wasn't on the bumper. And luckily enough, it doesn't look like this is messed up. So that's a good thing. Marker lights are always an issue in accidents. And then back here, this doesn't look like it's got any issues with it. There's no cuts or tears on it. So we lucked out on that one because of how hard it's hit right here, and this mounts right here. So luckily enough, lucked out that this wiring is not messed up. Looks like they side swiped something on this passenger side and just took out everything this way. But then we have this huge, it almost looks like someone nailed them in the corner. I wonder if they side swiped somebody and then they spun out and like reversed into like a barrier or something like that. I don't know, it's hard to tell. We had another flat tire on this one. Everything looks like it's pushed over this way quite a bit. You can see that the tire was rubbing right here, and I'll probably put some spares on the rear to roll it around, but this is, I didn't think it was pushed over that bad, but look at the frame rail right here. That's crazy how far it's over. You can see all this stuff. You can see the subframe right there is bent too. And what I'm gonna do, instead of, I hate that Dodge. This is why I always flip that bolt. I always flip this bolt right here. And you know why? Because you don't have to drop the subframe. So I think I'm going to reuse this arm for now. Wow, that actually came out a lot nicer than I thought it was going to come out. Of course I have to get axle grease on my hands. Oh, a ball. Oh no, they all came out. Oh. Yeah, they come out super easy when you don't want them to, but you know, yeah, I don't know what I was saying. How did it hit that? Wow, this thing is so messed up. Ooh. Taken 2 weeks, but I now have the brand new passenger side knuckle and a brand new passenger side axle. Oh, it's crazy how well the packaging is on the Hellcat rear axles compared to the Trackhawk front axles. So looks like we're good. The thing about the Hellcat axles in the rear is they have like this weird band or flange. So literally anytime these things get damaged, this whole flange gets destroyed. I mean, it's on both sides. It really doesn't matter, but yeah, it's just kind of crazy. It's like a whole different design from all the other axles that they make. I put a new brake line on and got the caliper to bleed, but the issue is this line is pretty bent from the accident because this hose got ripped off. So hopefully I could straighten that out. If not, I'm gonna have to just get a whole brake line assembly. I got the new strut on, or a used Hellcat strut that I had laying around, And the sway bar is also going to have to be replaced. As you can see, it's bent right here. Normally it would be more rounded and be a lot further away from the shock, but what I wanted to do was make it so I could roll the car around for the time being, and it should hopefully move under its own power now. Also, I had some parking brake cables that I had to replace, but you don't really want to do those until the subframe's out of the car. It's kind of a pain. So I think I need all three of them, because this piece was ripped off right there, and that piece right there goes to the front parking cable. So I think the driver side parking cable will be fine, but the passenger side and the whole one that goes to the front is going to be bad. But as you can see, these knuckles, when they get in wrecks, they just pretty much destroy everything, because this aluminum casing on the bushing, that's just torn out. You can't reuse that. The knuckle itself is damaged, and so was the lower control arm. As you can see, it's pretty damaged. But yeah, right here, it ripped out that mount right there. I thought it ripped another one out. I guess it was just that one, and that bushing was all messed up. But yeah, these knuckles are pretty delicate, but they're light, and they're Hellcat specific only. You have to order it for the VIN number, because they have a bunch of different, or you can replace them in pairs, but replace them off the same car, because they have a bunch of different camber. I think they change camber and caster on the knuckle on certain vehicles, and since this was a jailbreak, it was specific to the jailbreaks only. I think it was +2 degrees, or I think it was +2 camber. I think it was the same as the Demon 170, because when I ordered the axle, it made me send them the VIN because they were the same parts as the Demon 170. So I'm guessing the jailbreaks have the same knuckles and axles as the Demon 170, and you have to send your title, a picture of your title, in so you could actually get these parts. So it'll take an extra week, because you'll place the order, and then you'll go in and they'll be like, well, you need to send us a picture of your title. So just send them a picture of your title, and then it'll speed it up an extra week. All right. Now that I have the black Hellcat Charger over at the new shop, I need to start getting it ready to strip all the drivetrain out of the car so I can start putting it in the subscriber's new Magnum. So the one thing the car didn't come with was an intake. And I'm guessing they had a leg maker intake on here, because this hose is cut off, and that's a heat shrunk hose onto this. This is the evap system. And also the leg maker intake has this plate that bolts here, and it bolts here, and it's missing this little 10 mil right there, but it's not missing this one on this side. Most of this car is complete. The back window pretty much blew a bunch of glass into the car, so I have the shop vac. I'm going to try to vacuum as much of that out as I possibly can, because it's pretty much everywhere. It's even all the way up here. There's glass in the cowl, on the supercharger, so we'll get all that stuff. The great thing is this car has just under 10,000 miles, and that's really the reason I bought it. That, and it wasn't hit in the front, which is really nice, because all of these coolers and all this stuff in the front, really hard to get these coolers in good condition, brand new from Dodge. Like I showed you guys on the red Hellcat Magnum, it took me almost 20 sets of coolers before I got a good set. And they're $1,600. I think they're $1,600 or $1,800 just for the cooler pack. And they ship them in a cardboard box that's completely open. They all come bent and damaged. The end solution to the problem was I had the Dodge dealership buy the individual coolers from Dodge and send them to me. And then I made a cooler pack, and then I sent them all the broken pieces, or broken coolers and bent coolers, back so they could send those back, because we could never get a good cooling pack, which is very unfortunate. But that's why I buy these cars, or try to get these cars hit in the rear, because it's so hard to get all of the radiators and stuff in good condition from Dodge in the first place. So luckily enough, I think the subscriber is going to be doing a Charger front on his Magnum. So what I'm going to end up doing when I do the swap is I'm going to just put the core support and I'm going to swap over all of these tubs right here. And the reason I swap these tubs is because the core support and the bumper, they mount to this. Also, it has this intake hole down here. I like to do it correct. One thing that's really cool on this car is it's a last call car and it has this little puddle light right here. I almost want to replicate this and make this the wagon. I wish I knew somebody that could do that. Make this same exact thing, but make it the wagon and then have it say the SRT and then have the Gorilla for my blue car. I think that'd be awesome. I wish all 4 doors had them because the rear ones are just the normal lights. It'd be nice if, I mean, it's literally 2 extra lights. Like, come on guys, come on Dodge. Cheaping out on 50 bucks. This is gonna be a super sweet build. But I'm gonna end the video here. If you guys like these videos, make sure to click that subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. If you haven't seen any of my latest videos and it hasn't been recommended to you, I've been posting videos almost every day now. So go check those out. And as always, see you guys next time.